Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Combermary people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Christy Kidgerina. It's Wednesday, October 11. In Squiz Kids Today, cricket at the Olympics, a running world record, big-hearted netballers and a pug parade. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Are you one of almost 130,000 kids who play club cricket? Or maybe you just prefer to have a bash in the backyard. Well, next time you don the pads or pick up the bat, you might just be preparing to become an Olympian. Because for the first time in more than 100 years, cricket could again be an Olympic sport come Los Angeles 2028. And that means that by the time the Olympics is held in Brisbane in 2032, you might just be wearing the green and gold for your country on your own turf. In the next few days, the IOC, or International Olympic Committee, will be meeting in Mumbai, India, to vote on which new sports should be included. The front runners are 2020 cricket, baseball and softball, flag football, which is kind of like a touch footy version of American football, squash and lacrosse. There's a good chance that cricket will be selected after its success at the recent 2022 Birmingham Commonwealth Games, where the women's T20 competition was a hit, with the Aussie women taking gold. So, if you have a parent who grumbles about having to sit around at cricket all weekend, remind them that you are in training for the Olympics, and it's very important. Hey, there goes the classroom companion Clarion, reminding me to let you know that today's classroom companion worksheets are linked to this story. All our worksheets are connected to content descriptors from the Australian curriculum, and today we're informing and persuading by creating a poster introducing Americans to cricket. If you're a teacher or a home educator and haven't signed up yet for these free resources, it's easy. Just go to squizkids.com.au and follow the links to the Classroom Companion. You're welcome.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Fiji, where we've gone from one hugely popular sport to another in the form of netball. Netball is absolutely massive amongst both male and female players in Fiji. And over the recent school holidays, one Aussie netball club has given its young players a very special experience. The girls from Junee Netball Club in southern New South Wales travelled all the way to Nadi in Western Fiji to play in a netball comp with the locals. The girls had to adapt to the tropical conditions and a different style of play, but took it all in their stride. And on meeting a group of local children who didn't have shoes, they immediately gave their shoes and socks away. Other clubs in the New South Wales Riverina have put out the call for netball uniforms for Fijian players. And with sponsorship and fundraising, the Junee Club hopes to make the Junee Nadi Carnival an annual event.
Sport time.
Wow, what a huge week in sport. Earlier on in the lowdown, we mentioned the Olympics. Well, Paris 2024 is less than a year away, and athletes all across the globe are busy training and taking part in qualifying events to secure their spots in their national teams. This week, champion Aussie paddler Jess Fox has bagged her seat on the plane to Paris. Jess, who won gold and silver at the Tokyo Olympics, has just taken out 2 golds at the Paris World Cup on the same course that she'll be competing on in next year's canoe and kayak Olympic events. First, Jess won the K1 event, where she sits in a very unstable, long, narrow kayak and paddles on a flatwater course, before taking out the C1 event while kneeling in a closed canoe through a course of fast-flowing rapids the very next day. Jess's mum was a champion French paddler, so she definitely felt the support of the French crowd behind her. And finally, I just have to mention marathon runner Kelvin Kiptum from Kenya, who broke the men's marathon world record in Chicago over the weekend. It's an extra special big deal because he came so close to running the 42 kilometres in under 2 hours, crossing the finish line in just 2 hours and 35 seconds. I've stuck a link to video from the finish line in your episode notes. Amazing!
Animal Kingdom.
In a departure from our sporting theme, we're going to a pug parade. The paparazzi have been out in force to capture an annual pug fashion show in the United States. Each year, the Oregon Humane Society roll out the pink carpet to raise money for animal care and adoption. The pugs strut their stuff, and this year there was a twist. It was Taylor's version, with all the pugs dressed up as the pop icon. And of course, there's a link to video in the episode notes. The event is restricted to pugs and pug crosses. However, no one was excluded, with all dogs welcome to attend the day. Pugalicious!
Squiz Kids Live.
Hey kids, parents and teachers, there's a very special event coming up this weekend. And it doesn't start with the letter R. There are only 3 more sleeps until our very own podcasting superstar, Bryce Corbett, takes to the stage for the first ever Squiz Kids Live event in the nation's capital. It's all happening this coming Saturday, which means if you want to be part of a live podcasting recording, if you want to get your groove on with our daytime disco and experience weird science and Animal Kingdom in real life, then you better get your tickets quick smart. Come with your family, come with your friends, get your teacher to organise the entire class to come with special group booking discounts, because it's going to be super fun. Tickets are available via our website, squizkids.com.au, or via the link in our episode notes.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. The Aussie girls who travelled to Fiji for a netball competition were from which town in New South Wales? That's right, it was Junee. Question number 2. Which country does marathon runner Kelvin Kiptum hail from? Of course, he's from Kenya. Question number 3. Who were the pugs who took part in the recent pug parade dressed up as? Yep, it was Tay-Tay herself.
Shout outs.
It's October 11, International Day of the Girl. If you want to find out more about where the phrase girl power comes from, why there's an International Day for girls, and how superheroes and sports stars are a sign of better times, I've stuck a link in your episode notes to our Squiz Kids shortcut to girl power. Or just check out the Squiz Kids feed in your podcast app. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Lockie from Newtown, Dylan from Cannon Hill, Guy from Melbourne, Tilly from Alinda, Alexander from Harrison, Christopher from Bankstown, Patrick from Waniassa, Harvey from West Footscray, Juliet from Bronte, Erica from Brisbane, Mac from Caulfield, Taylor and Eric and Danby from Jindalee. And belated birthday shout-outs go to Duke from Altona Meadows, Grace from Kilcan, Tiffany from Queen's Park, and Sebastian listening all the way over there in Ohio, USA. And we're still working our way through all the belated shout-outs for those Squiz Kids who celebrated a birthday during the recent school holidays, including Lucy from Ipswich, Milo from Matong, Sophie from Flagstaff Hill, Olivia from Shayla Park, Hamish from Aranda, Chris from Yass, Emery from Cannon Hill, Emmy from Junie, Azara from Forster, Katrina from Mount Gravatt, Patty from Geelong, Ruhan from Altona Meadows, Tanya from North Epping, Hendrix from Pacific Pines, Ben from Ivanhoe, Dasley from Manapara, Holly from Andrews Farm, Estelle from Mount Isa, Karen from Epping, Taja from Tugra, Summer from North Curl, Helen from East Victoria Park, Ava from Thornbury, Leah from Vermont South, Azalea from Cronulla, and Sophie listening all the way over there in Brunei, Dar es Salaam. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you want a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and